Today I'm going to be talking about the history of workers' compensation in Georgia. Prior to 1920, there was no workers' compensation in Georgia. If you get hurt on the job, then you can sue your employer in tort. Unfortunately, you had to prove negligence, and there was the borrowed servant doctrine. After 1920, all the laws changed. The reason for this change is because more people were moving into cities and less people were living on farms, and there had to be protections for people who were hurt on the job. Furthermore, employers wanted protection because there could be very large lawsuits if an individual was hurt on the job. In 1920, the state of Georgia passed a Workers' Compensation Act. It stated that if you were on the job and you got hurt, you were entitled to medical treatment and indemnity benefits. The benefits were very small, and there were a number of different areas where you could not receive workers' compensation benefits. For example, if you were a farmer, you could not receive workers' compensation benefits. That exemption holds true to today. In the 1950s, the law began to change a little bit, and they became a little bit more friendly to both employers and to workers. The average weekly wage was raised. The calculation of how to determine average weekly wage was also raised in the 1950s. During the 1970s, the Georgia legislature made some significant changes to the workers' compensation statute. First of all, they removed the cap on how much money an employer could spend on medical treatment. Therefore, during this time, an injured worker could receive medical treatment for a lifetime for that injury. Secondly, they changed how to calculate the average weekly wage from 50% to 2/3 of what they were earning the 13 weeks prior. The next major changes took place in 1992. During the legislative session, they capped the amount of benefits that an individual could receive workers' compensation benefits for to 400 weeks. Prior to this time, they could receive workers' compensation benefits for life. The second change they made is they capped the amount of money an attorney could receive in a workers' compensation case to 25% of the award. The last significant change to workers' compensation took place in 2013. Prior to 2013, if you were hurt on the job, you could receive lifetime medical treatment for your injured body part. Now, if your case is not deemed catastrophic, and catastrophic is a legal definition, then you can only receive medical treatment for up to 400 weeks. Currently, the maximum amount an injured worker can receive in the state of Georgia is $675 per week. If you have any questions about workers' compensation, please don't hesitate to contact the lawyers at Gerber Elkins.